Yeah.
Good morning. We have a quorum. Our meeting is now called to order. And this morning we will deal with certain outstanding items raised by members, and also we will go over the CSAs, and the administration will take us through them. Mr. Liu, please. Good morning, members, and good morning, Chairman. At the meeting on the 4th of June, members raised certain issues, and we have prepared a simple paper in response to two items, and the paper is CB1 1276/1213/02. The paper deals with two things. First, the legal advisor and members raised concern about the Stamp Duty Amendment Bill 2012 and also the Stamp Duty Amendment Bill 2013. There are new stamp duty measures. If these measures or proposed measures come into effect, what will be the implication on the property transactions under the scheme, under the alternative bond schemes? And also, the second question is the definition of special purpose vehicle, and members ask about the scope of the definition. On the first item, as you all know, we propose to add sections 47F and 47G to provide stamp duty and special stamp duty relief for an instrument in relation to transactions in Hong Kong properties held under a qualified investment arrangement in a specified alternative bond scheme. The relief is for ABS. In traditional bond schemes, there is no such arrangement. Without the exemption, then the ABS will have to pay additional stamp duty. For the above reasons, the administration is of the view that with the passage of the two bills, any qualified investment arrangement or rather the stamp duty and special stamp duty for any instrument in relation to transactions in Hong Kong property held under qualified investment scheme arrangement in ABS will be exempted. The two bills are now being studied by another two bills committees. Depending on the outcome of the work of the two bills committees, we will move the relevant amendments. And under Section 52, there is a mechanism and there is discretion given to deal with applications for remission or refund of stamp duty under the ABS, or rather in respect of the ABS. At the last meeting, Mr. Leung asked for ask whether a partnership is included in the definition of special purpose vehicle. According to our understanding, the issuer, being a special purpose vehicle, is usually a corporation, but we are willing to deal with the matter in a flexible manner, and we therefore would like to incorporate or include cooperation and partnership and any other setup. Therefore, we have added the reference to partnership in the latest edition of our definition. Do members have any questions? Mr. Leung. I hope that the administration will clarify paragraphs 3 and 4. Now, before the passage of the two stamp duty bills, you will rely on Section 52 to entertain the relevant applications for remission or refund. Is it the case? If this bill becomes law, then there is a legal framework for us to provide remission on stamp duty and enhance stamp duty. Under normal circumstances, we don't need to resort to the discretion under Section 52, which deals with applications on a case-by-case basis. As for our new buyer stamp duty and also the enhanced special stamp duty, we will have to keep an eye on the progress of the enactment of the two bills. We will give exemption in the future if need be, and if the amendments cannot deal with that, then we still have Section 52 to rely upon. If members don't have further questions, we will move on to look at the CSAs. Yes, please. Thank you, Chairman. We have prepared the CSAs in both Chinese and English. Now, this is these are all the committee stage amendments we would like to propose. At the meeting on the 4th of June, members read most of the CSAs of the English version, and we have added 4, 6, 17 to 27, which are minor technical amendments. So if we may just look at the newly added items. And we've also prepared the relevant, or rather we have prepared the Chinese version of the CSAs for members' perusal. If I may go over the CSAs page by page with members. The English version, page 1 of the annex. Under Schedule 17A, we changed 27 to 29 to reflect certain renumbering in the Inland Revenue Ordinance. I'm aware that there is the Inland Revenue Amendment Bill, which will soon be put up for second reading. This is simply, this change is simply editorial. If members may turn over the page. Subsection D, we've added 11A because we have added a new 11A provision. So we need to make this consequential amendment. This is just a numbering or renumbering arrangement. Under interpretation, we have two amendments. First, investment return, and there is an amendment. Section 10 or Clause 10 of the Blue Bill is split into 10 and 11A. Therefore, investment return under Clause 10 deals with lease arrangement and profits sharing arrangement. And under 11A or Section 11A, we deal with agency arrangement and the calculation of investment return under agency arrangement. We therefore split Sections 10 and 11A. Now you split them. Does it mean And there are two methods of calculation in terms of investment return. No. Lease arrangement and profit sharing arrangement deal with more complicated situations than agency arrangement. When you come to sections 10 and 11A, I will explain the details as to how we handle these two sections. This is purely technical. It is just to split the reference. And we have added the definition of special purpose vehicle. We have added a little bit, and that is partnership, the word partnership, to deal with the issue I've just mentioned. And then the following CSAs have been studied by members, and I do not intend to repeat them. So if I may suggest to jump to page 16 of the English version, page 16 of the English version, and then for the Chinese version, members may refer to page 12. As I have just explained, for the sake of the taxpayers who want to read the schedule, we split the arrangement. Agency arrangement is simpler, and we put it under the new 11A. The more complicated arrangement is put under section 10. Lease arrangement and profits sharing arrangement. As for these two things, in calculating investment return, we look at four things. We have the formula. A and B refer to the arrangement in which the return to the bond is related to the return to the bond issuer. Say A is lease arrangement, so it's rent. Specified income means rental income in a lease arrangement. As for profits sharing arrangement, A refers to the profits from business undertaking. These will be included in A under our formula. B is specified proceeds of disposal. And specified proceeds of disposal means the situation in which there is selling of the asset and the return, or rather the revenue from or income from the selling of the assets. As we see, for buying a new asset, the acquisition cost will be deducted. D and E deals with certain incomes. Say, if there is an income given to the special purpose vehicle, will be added to D. If there is any expenditure by the special purpose vehicle given to the originator, then it will be deducted. This is just to add or deduct the payment transfer between the originator and the SPV. The A plus B minus C plus D minus E is the formula.
We have also simplified the drafting, so please go to page 20 of the English version, page 16 in the Chinese version, or rather page 15 of the Chinese version. So we try to define a number of scenarios. First of all, full redemption of bonds. It means full redemption of the alternative bonds. Partial redemption of bonds means partial redemption. And then, if you compare it with the blue bill, we have simplified it. And we also set out the specified acquisition cost. it means the sum in relation to the acquisition cost to replace an asset after it has been disposed of. We also clarify the attributions. This is because when you dispose of the assets partially and if you replace it with something new, then we want to make it clear that for the acquisition cost, it means the asset sold and then you acquire new asset and then an acquisition cost would arise. So we talk about the attributable cost. So the idea of attributable cost is set out here. And then specified proceeds of disposal. If you are to have full or partial redemption, you have proceeds arising from the disposal and that will be counted towards the return of investment. For the new subsection 5, well, the concept can be found in the original sections 7 to 9. We want to clarify that if an asset has been damaged or it has been lost, now in this case, since there would be compensation from the insurance company, such compensation will be regarded as money arising in respect of the destruction or loss. If the amount of compensation cannot be used for full redemption and there is money left, then it will be regarded as specified income as well. If the compensation arising from destruction or loss is to be used fully on the redemption of the bonds, then this part will be regarded as specified proceeds of disposal. It will be regarded as the consideration for the disposal of the asset. The idea itself can be found in the original version, but here we simply want to make it clearer so that the intention can be brought out more clearly. And then for subsection 6, it means that if the word pay is used and if we want to regard something as payable, then the word pay will be regarded as payable and dispose of would be sort of defined in a similar way. Members, any questions? So when I take the bill as a whole into account, for investment return, there will be 3 ways to deal with it. So you have section 10 for lease arrangement, and then there's another one, and then agency arrangement in 11. For section 10 in particular, subsection 4, you have a number of definitions: full redemption, partial redemption of bonds. For the 2 definitions, I just wonder whether they would already cover the other 2 types of sukuk. Why don't you house them under 10 only? This is the only point I want to raise. Well, as to why we have it in this way, for lease arrangement, that scenario will be more complicated than the other 2. This is because usually they will really involve, in the course of management, the destruction or loss of the assets, or it will be damaged, and then you may get compensation arising from the destruction or loss, and then you have to check whether as a result of that, in the middle of it, there will be full redemption or partial redemption of bonds. But then under 11A, when you have agency arrangement, for the agency arrangement, as far as the concept is concerned, it is only a matter of agency. So the originator merely acts as an agency to oversee the asset. the bond issuer would not deal with the asset directly. Therefore, the likelihood that there will be full redemption or partial redemption in the course of the duration is quite unlikely. Therefore, for the sake of simplicity, for the new 11A, we have resorted to a simpler formula, A plus B minus C. We believe that this is already adequate to deal with the transfer of assets or change of assets, because it would mainly be occurring in lease arrangement or profit sharing arrangement rather than agency arrangement. For the other two, that is purchase and sale arrangement, it is a purchase and a sale at the same time, so there will be investment return instantly. For agency arrangement, for the specified return, it is already specified. Any profits generated from the management of the specified asset, management is already clearly spelled out, and that will involve the purchase and sale of the specified asset. Therefore, under agency arrangement, the specified return will be the same as the result from A plus B minus C, and that's why we make a special effort to create 11A, because A already includes the profits arising from the purchase and sale of the asset. So there won't be any omission. Mr. also mentioned 11A, so perhaps we can take a look of 11A and the formula. Relatively speaking, it's simpler than the previous one. For agency arrangement, A, as Mr. Ng said, is in relation to the profits arising from the management of the specified asset. They will all be covered under A. For B, it means the total amount of any other sums paid by originator to the bond issuer, and C means the expenditure or the total amount of any agency fee or incentive fee paid by the bond issuer to originator. And for payable, it should also cover the word pay. So when by comparison, agency arrangement is simpler than that under Section 10. So we took a fresh look of it, and we found that it will be more readable and more user-friendly if we are to split the two. No questions, then we can move on. Or our legal advisor. Mr. Chairman, it is simply something about drafting. I've noticed that for the few sections referred to a moment ago, we talk about money arising from certain things, and you always refer to a particular period of time. And then for 5A, it seems that it's different. I want to know why this is the case. You mean under 10.5A? If you look at B and C, it refers to if in a period, but this is absent from 5A. And then for 11, in 10 and 11A, it is similar. So, Law Draftsman? Sorry, speaker is off mic. Sorry, speaker is off mic. Well, when we calculate the specified return or the specified income in a particular period or the specified proceeds of disposal, we have to read 5B and 5C. Therefore, under 5B and 5C, we have already used the word in a period to qualify it. It will be adequate. For 5A, the purpose is mainly to talk about the money arising from the destruction or loss, and we don't have to qualify it by saying that it is in a period. All right, legal advisor, any other questions? No? All right, we can move on. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Page 25, we've covered that. And for pages after that, they have already been taken care of last time, with the exception of page 36 in the annex. And for the Chinese version, page 30 in the annex. Last time we mentioned section 14A. We made a mistake about the date. Now we're substituting it by another date. So it is only a very minor amendment. We have used the word relevant instrument. Last time we said an instrument issued in the interim period. We found that in fact we should use relevant instrument, and then there will be a good enough label to say that the instrument is the one in the gap in the interim. And then page 37 of the English version, again we talk about the definition. Relevant instrument means an instrument issued on or after 24th of May 1996 but before 14th of November 2003. So the relevant amendment is relevant to 2A and 2B. Every time we have instrument issued in the interim period, we say relevant instrument, which is a briefer description. But then as the mechanism itself, there hasn't been any change, so it is merely a matter of simpler drafting. Next, please turn to page 39 to page 40 of the English version. You find the relevant clause in the Chinese version on page 31, 32. So a matter of renumbering in the light of another amendment bill, that is the Inland Revenue Amendment Bill. Probably it will receive the second reading again earlier than this one. So we have to give way and we have to have some renumbering. So Schedule 27 should now reach Schedule 29. And then that's in relation to IRO section 89 bracket 9. And also section 10 should now reach section 11. But we don't change any concepts, just a matter of renumbering. For the amendments, after that, they've all been dealt with last time, so I haven't got anything else to say. But I'll be happy to take questions from members. Members, any questions? Legal advisor, any questions, any comments? For the Chinese version, the legal advisor, please tell us whether you have any comments. I think I should say that I haven't got any strong views, because for those that I have raised, the administration has come back to me. I would like to thank the legal advisor for having the discussion with us. Some of the comments have been taken on board by us. We're most grateful to him for spending time on scrutinizing the Chinese draft. Members, do you have other questions on the bill as a whole? If there aren't other questions, then I just want to remind you of the legislative timetable. I think that was mentioned last time. So for the date of the resumption of the second reading debate, it will be the 10th of July. And we are going to give a report to the House Comm on the 21st of June. And for the deadline for giving notice to resume the second reading debate, we need 12 days. In other words, the government has to do so by the 24th of June. And then as to the deadline to give notice to move amendments, 29th of June. So if members would like to move any CSAs, please do so before the 29th of June. In previous meetings, I haven't heard of any proposed CSAs from members. If you do, please do so before the 29th of June. Members, do we have other questions? If not, then our scrutiny today and the scrutiny of the entire bill has now come to an end. All right, thank you. Thank you, members, for your cooperation. Mr. Chairman, I take this opportunity to thank you and members on behalf of the administration. Thank you for your participation in scrutiny and your support. We also thank the administration for your clear replies to the questions asked, and we are grateful to our legal advisor. Thank you for your hard work. So we are going to report to the House Committee as scheduled. All right, thank you.